Today I want to show you 3 of my awesome NyLint mobile cranes and how they work. This one's from the 50's. This one here is from the 60's. And who doesn't remember the jumbo NyLint crane from the early 70's? So this one was advertised as 1957, and after looking at about 100 of these things, this one really caught my attention. Even the decals were in perfect condition. You see this one, Clark Equipment, Michigan Model T24. Especially this decal was worn off on most of them that I saw. The NyLint Tool and Manufacturing Company right out of Rockford, Illinois. So when they started making these in 1955, they had 10 wheels. They had tandem axles in the back. So 1957 was the first year they went to 6-wheel. It even had its own steering, a little knob on the steering wheel where you could put your finger in there and turn the wheels. Yep, it was a solid steel machine back then. You couldn't break it even if you tried. This volunteer operator was one of the guys from Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. The solid steel cranks were awesome. You could lock it in at every 1/8 of a turn of the wheel for total accuracy. So this motion is raising your shovel up. So when the shovel comes to rest at the top, it will unnotch itself and the shovel will open. So just simply flip the lever back and the shovel will be free to come down with no hesitation. So who remembers that show Leave It to Beaver? Because the first time I saw this crane, I was like 7 years old and I saw it on Leave It to Beaver. I asked my dad right away if I could get one and he said, no, this is an old show, they don't even make them anymore. So I was finally able to get one when I was 45 years old. The upper wheel is for your boom arm and it has a locking position every 1/4 of a turn, again for more accuracy. It has a small pulley wheel at the top for your rigging. Comes all the way down. 2 strings, one to the cab and one to your turn axle. So now let's see it in action. So I'm rating this crane at a 10. It'll be around for many more years to come. So I'm pegging this NyLint Michigan crane to be 1969 because in 1967 and 68 they put black tops on the cabs of their trucks. And in 1970 they changed their color yellow a little bit. One of the things that caught my eye on this is that the glass was in great condition. I saw a handful of these on eBay, but I was on Etsy one day at the right time and I saw this one in almost mint condition. I like this one. Even back then they had some real meaty tread and white wall on their tires. And no matter what year, NyLint was always big for advertising their air brakes. It was only 1969 and all their manual parts were already being made in plastic. The shovel and the operations were still the same. So how about the jumbo 1973 NyLint crane? I had one of these as a kid and I destroyed it. I ended up tearing off the crane from the chassis, and it took me about a week to do it. All this just so I could kneel on it and ride it down our driveway that was on a hill. They kept all their operations the same, where you push in the wheel and turn it. But the wheels still only locked in at half a turn at a time. So in the early 70s, they started cautioning for power brakes. So if you had any one of these as a kid, you might remember every other kid on the block wanted to play with it. While in the 70s, we never even heard the word computer. So I still have some other cranes to show you in another video. One of them's 9 feet tall. My next video, I'm going to do a small review on my MaxiLift mobile crane. It's metal and plastic, but can still withstand a heavy load.